Hello, welcome back. My name is Jo, and I realized I don't think I've ever made a video talking specifically about where I get the ebooks and audiobooks that I read. Of course, there's nothing quite like a physical book, and I do still indulge in the occasional physical read, but you can't beat the portability and accessibility of ebooks and audiobooks. So I have 5 or so places that I get the vast majority of my ebooks and audiobooks. We have a visitor here. Do you have anything to share? No? Okay. I have a device called a kobo. This is like a very similar thing to a Kindle, and this also has an app. So if you have an iPad, a tablet, a phone, you can read Kobo books on there. So there is a Kobo web store where I do purchase some ebooks. They do have some good sales sometimes, so if you maintain a wish list, you can check for good sales. The Spanish selection of books is very, very good, so I've personally not had issues. They have a very similar program to Audible where you can buy credits, and as of right now, at least, they are $10 per credit, so it is relatively affordable for audiobooks if it's an audiobook that you want to own and be able to re-listen to. There's also a subscription called Kobo Plus, which is not honestly that amazing for English books. It's not bad, but it is actually better for non-English books. But Kobo Plus does have good options for ebooks and audiobooks in Spanish. It's not like every single thing that you're going to want to read for sure, but you can always find something interesting to read. Buying ebooks from other sources, I'll just get that out of the way really quickly. To be honest, I don't do this very often, but once in a blue moon, I will buy an EPUB from like Casa del Libro or other websites, other book stores that sell EPUBs. Often these have an Adobe copyright protection on them, but you would be able to read them on a Kobo or on phone or whatever. You would just have to use the appropriate software or break the copyright. But again, you didn't hear that from me. Thirdly, public library. Again, I won't spend a huge amount of time on this because it's not an option for everybody. But if you have a public library, I would highly recommend checking whether they have ebooks or audiobooks available in Spanish. Many libraries use a service like Libby, which used to be called Overdrive, or there's like BorrowBox, there's Hoopla, there's a whole bunch of different ones. So if your library uses one of those, definitely check them out. Moving on from public library to a private library, the Cervantes Institute Library has also really great selection of ebooks and audiobooks. I did make a video about this, so you can check that out for more details and to kind of see more of what their catalog looks like. So this is pretty affordable depending on whether you get it through a branch of the Institute or directly online. I think I ended up paying 14 euros, kind of one of those things where you have infinite things to read here, like more than you'd have time to read. Whether it's exactly what you want to read or not is going to depend on you, but definitely a great option, super, super affordable. And finally, where I actually read the most, not by a ton, but I do read the most of my audiobooks and ebooks from an app called Storytel. And this is a subscription service. You do want to make sure that you're actually going to read enough to get your money's worth out of it. But I pay $60 per year, so about $5 per month for the Storytel subscription. They have it for many different countries, so you can check out like Mexico, Colombia, Spain, depending on what would be best for you. And there are so many ebooks and audiobooks on here. They kind of focus primarily on audiobooks, but there are a lot of ebooks as well. This is like such a worthwhile subscription for me. You do have to read it on some kind of a tablet, something that can have the app. So I tend to listen to the audiobooks obviously on my phone and then mostly read ebooks on my iPad. Similar selection to Kobo Plus. I think they have a little bit more in my observation, but really, really great service. And they do have some books in other languages as well. But all of these have worked out really, really well for me to be able to find almost any ebook or audiobook that I want to listen to or read. Without ebooks and audiobooks, I wouldn't be able to read nearly as much as I do, so I'm always super grateful for that. So yeah, if you'd like, let me know in the comments where you get most of your ebooks or audiobooks, and I will see you in the next video.